Guys, it's Johnny Allen. I hope you're having a great day out there. Hey, let's get this show started now.
Hey, all you media junkies out there, I invite you to spend some time with me. I'm Johnny Allen, and this is the Johnny Allen Podcast Show.
Okay, show does officially start now. I'm your host, Johnny Allen. This is the Johnny Allen Podcast / videocast show, where you can reach me on Facebook under the same and YouTube under the same. Johnny Allen Podcast / videocast show. I hope everybody's doing okay through this pandemic nightmare that we're living through. I've been talking about for the last month. Today, I'm just going to kind of share what I do and actually get comments from you guys, hopefully, on what you guys are doing to stay keep your sanity during it, right? Okay. To keep from going insane and keeping our sanities. And I'll discuss a little bit of how we've learned from this. Have we learned anything from it? Are you learning stuff from it? Are you learning to become closer to your family and close friends? Are you learning the value of time and what to do with your time rather and things of that nature? So we'll discuss that a little bit today. Again, welcome to the show. Grab your coffee out. This is to my buddies. This is to the Blue Angels out there, right? To the Blue Angels, man. I love the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds. Blue Angels, thank you for the flybys. I know we appreciate it. I know some people gave him a lot of flack about it. It was too much money and all that. But I said, the government spends way too much money on other stuff. So why not spend a little? I know as a healthcare provider, man, I appreciated it. So that's all I got to say. And I think it's, I would say money spent well. I don't know if well spent, but spent well. I know we appreciated it, so thank you. That toast to the Blue Angels. And, how you guys holding up? I'm going to share real quick a clip of what I did last weekend. Indiana weather, by the way, before I share the clip. When I did this last weekend, it was like 80 degrees here in Indiana. It's been pretty nice, pretty sunny, a little rain once in a while. And today's Thursday, May the 7th, and tomorrow, and actually this coming Saturday, it's going to be really cold. The temperatures dropped. So old man winter has made a comeback. Pretty typical in Indiana, although we're like 20 degrees below what we normally are here. But, pretty typical in Indiana. It's up and down. I just can't wait for it to stay 80s, because that teaser that we had last Saturday was like great. It was awesome. It was wonderful, man. I'll show you the clip of what I did, and then I also detailed my car. I just got outside, and I'll show the clip real quick, and then we'll get back and we'll talk a little bit. Okay. All right, here it is. Hey, guys, I'm doing double duty today, and I just want to share the cooking thing again. Here's the roast. Sorry about the dog. Neighbor's dog barking. Again, likes to bark a lot. There's a smoked roast right there, guys. Smoking it slow. Low and slow. That's what she's looking like. So, looking pretty good. Probably be done in about 1 more hour. Different recipe that I used from a guy from I forget his name. I'll plug his podcast or his website. See you guys. You know what? That roast turned out really nice. First time I ever smoked a roast. I've done a lot of ribs and tenderloins and stuff like that, but the beef roast was incredible. I forget where I got the recipe from, but somebody off the internet, a lot on YouTube or someplace. I mean, a lot of people put stuff up, and it's great. I do know that it was a Texas guy, and I tell you, there's a lot of good barbecue states, barbecue people, whatever, companies, whatever you want to call them, chef. I don't know what you call them. What do you call us? People that know how to barbecue, right? But it seems like you always have to go back to Texas, man. I don't know. If I got any people watching Texas, well, I know with Chris down there in Austin. The Texas, man, they do have some of the best barbecue anywhere in the world, man. I mean, hey, it's just the way it is. And I've had a lot of barbecue. But I think I got that recipe from a man down there in Texas. So, anyway, my podcast today, how you guys doing? How you guys feeling? How you guys getting along? Are we learning anything from this pandemic? Are we learning... besides saying, oh, it sucks and I hate it and all that, I get all that stuff. Okay, but are we learning anything positive from it? Are we learning, like, to spend quality time with the family when you can get near them? And if we can't get near them, is our appreciation's changing? In other words, things that we took for granted, maybe not so much now, right? So are we gaining a new perspective on life, is what I'm trying to say. Are we getting a new perspective on life? Are we appreciating life a little more? Even though we're stuck and finances are, questionable and all these negative things going down. I did take a couple steps back and really reflect on what's going on. Of course, I went through the stressors, and I'm not saying I still don't, and all that kind of thing, like everybody else. But I had to take a couple steps back and take a couple deep breaths in, and just kind of sit back and digest all this stuff, and think about really what's going on, and kind of come to some realizations and some reasonings with my life, and get to where I'm rethinking quality of life, rethinking that whole thing, right? Rethinking it. And I never was one to really take things for granted. Now, maybe a little bit, but a few years back, I learned not to do that so much. And I think this pandemic is really instilling that value in not only me, but a lot of people, that we just don't take things for granted. And we appreciate being with family, I haven't seen my mom and dad for like almost 3 months now. I'm going to try to go and distance visit safely because they are older and I have to really be protective. But I do need to see them. I do need to visit them. Been visiting a few people with the social distancing, and I mentioned before, really miss playing in the bands I'm involved in. We're going to try, hopefully, to get some recording and stuff going. But anyway, we're trying to get life back to normal as much as normal can be. But in the meantime, how you guys dealing with it? Comment below. How you guys? I know we're changing things. We're walking and we're doing all these different things, but how are you really coping with it, right? I'd be interested to find out. So yeah, comment below and let me know. How has your life changed, and have we learned? Like I said, have we learned from it? And one thing I learned is that we got to take care of each other more, right? We're all in kind of the same boat. Even my fellow associates, even though we have our differences and stuff, we really bonded together. We're all in the same boat. So it's kind of the good thing, I guess, that could come out of it. One of the things is that we're learning to get tight with each other, so to speak. Talk, and we can identify with what's going on, and kind of support each other as best we can. And that's a good thing. And I think that we should do fun things every day that you can. At least something fun, even if something as simple as like today. I'll use the example of work, man. I went ahead and I loaded up a YouTube and just listened to 70s commercials, anything from the 70s if it's funny. And, because I was a kid in the 70s, and a teenager, and I love the 70s. It was a great decade for me anyway, 70s. And it was just nice to get away from all the stuff going on and just play something fun and watch funny stuff. We got to do that. I've been doing that. Been really just concentrating on that. Going for the walks, going for the bike rides, like I showed you, cooking out on the smoker. I think these things are so important. And phone calls, a lot of phone calls, reaching out to people, just saying, hey, how you doing? That's things that I'm learning, and hopefully you guys are learning too, that we could do to take us out of the doom and gloom kind of thing. Because, man, if you listen to the news all the time, it'll just get you way down. I mean, I know you got to hear a little bit of what's going on, but, man, it's just total bombardment of blah, 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 coronavirus. It's a big bad movie. It's the wicked movie, the coronavirus. Really. Just get tired of that stuff, man. It starts playing on your psyche after a while. It's crazy. So, anyway, how you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are doing really good. Hey, like I said, I drink coffee on the show. It's a no-brainer if you've been following me for a while. That's what we do. We chit-chat about everyday life, common life situations. And, of course, the common day life situation now is not so common anymore. It's Corona, Cinco de Mayo. Did you guys, did we miss that one like we did St. Patty's Day, like we did, Easter and everything else? I mean, it's like we didn't miss it, but we kind of missed it, right? I don't know. I ended up having to talk with work. That was kind of nice, but it is a little different. So we have to figure out ways to keep life on a positive note and do some fun things, so we're not just sitting and just worrying about it and doom and gloom. But like I said, drink your coffee and everything, which reminds me of, I got to plug this Diesel Coffee. You guys know I got a links on my sites. And this is great coffee, guys. Diesel Coffee out of Lansing, Michigan. My good buddy up there. I tell you what, he's got great coffee up there in Lansing, Michigan, right? So go get the coffee off of Tim up there, www.shopdieselcoffee.com. Tim will send you a nice bag or bags of coffee. And, this is the second one that he sent me. So Tim, if you're watching, this is it, buddy. Thank you so much. I even gave a little bit to my stepson. It's awesome. Great coffee though. Diesel Coffee, I highly recommend it. And it's supporting the small businesses and the local people. And I'm all about that. Especially now, right? So we're talking about today, how do we keep enlightened during a crisis? What do we do to put a smile back on our face? Not worry about it so much. We got to take a break from it, right? So, I shut the news off for a while. Yeah, I was watching too much news. I'll admit it. I was watching too much. And like I said, I was getting too much of this doom and gloom of the coronavirus, just total bombardment. And it's so weird they put the gauge up there like, okay, how many deaths we have today? Like it's a game almost, We got so many deaths and so many cases and so many deaths and so many cases and so many deaths. Now, really, it starts working on your psyche, guys. It does. Works on the psyche, So give it a break. Shut it off. I shut the TV off altogether. Over the weekend, like this past weekend, went outside, detailed my car, worked in my garage, hang out with the wife, made nice dinner. There you go. Just do stuff like that. Do stuff like that. If you're not rich, which I'm not, you can come up with creative ways to do things that don't cost any money. I'm saving some money too right now. So that's kind of that's what we're talking about today, guys, for 25 more minutes or so. Or less than that now. We're up to 11 minutes. So anyway, comment below. How you guys coping with the coronavirus? We're doing some fun stuff. I see a lot of people walking, parks. It's all great. Just keep the distance, right? We already know that. And, spring is here and /summer. So we know it's going to be a little different, right? We normally go to concerts or sporting events. I mean, I love football, I love concerts and stuff like that. So that's probably maybe not going to happen. Especially I don't see rock concerts happening or anything like that. It's not really going to happen so much. So how are we going to change, or how are we going to keep our morales up and our spirits high when we don't do the typical things we normally do, like baseball games and stuff like that? So we got to think of creative ways to keep our spirits lifted and keep everything going in a positive direction. Because we know it's not going to last forever, but it may last for a while. So we got to cope, right? So like I said, I think of it as this. I'm kind of a simple guy anyway, and I think of keeping my life pretty simple and just doing simple things like what I just described, a few things that I do. Not do, but do. Kind of funny. Anyway, cooking out, walking, cars. I'm into cars, If you guys got garages out there, you're tinkering with the car, man, it's cool. Things like that. So we'll just have to come up with creative ways, right? If you guys share what you guys are going to do or what you think you're going to do or what you want to do, what you've been doing. If we can't do a lot during the summer, when I talk about going out and going to concerts and having, big gatherings, we can have small gatherings. And I still want it to be a productive summer. I had a big plan. I had plans for this summer. Going to try to keep some of those plans. I think the live stuff, I was going to set up gigs for both bands. I just don't think it's going to happen this year. And is it okay if it doesn't? Yes. And I'll tell you why. As much as I enjoy it, sometimes you just need a break. And sometimes things happen just to try to restructure and make you rethink things and make you realize things, if you guys know what I mean, without going too deep. There's a purpose for everything, and everything has its purpose. And I think that this is, for whatever reason, is trying to get us focused back on the basics of life and giving us a timeout. Because I mentioned this earlier on a podcast quite a while back. I think we were just too much hustle and bustle and fast paced. We need to slow it down. Even when things do get quote unquote back to normal, I think we need to still slow things down and I don't mean like, walking slower or something like that. What I mean by slowing down is I feel like we just need to absorb more of what is natural instead of just like flying and not paying attention to nature or anything else. We need to slow down and kind of look at and observe things. Observe what we got around us. Really don't take things for granted. If you got a boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, whatever the case may be, you know, really share some quality time with those people. Maybe not argue so much because a few times my wife and I got these little spats. And I said, whoa, you know what? We don't have time for that. Life is too precious. We need to just take a time out and really think about these things. And we thought about that. Like, yeah, it's right. That's right, rather. You got to spend quality time. And no matter what circumstances thrown at us. So, like I said, shut down the news, all that kind of stuff. Give your mind a break, right? Give your mind a break. So, with that being said, like I said, things are going to change. And this Sunday, don't forget, is Mother's Day coming up. We just did Cinco de Mayo. Now it's Mother's Day coming up. A lot of us aren't going to be able to get together with our moms. If you can, that's great. But if you can't, find a creative way to connect with mom. FaceTime, whatever it is. Send her a card. I got a card coming to my mom, but she watches this podcast. She knows it's coming. I got a card coming to mom through the mail, We just got to keep connecting the best way we can connect and stay positive the best ways that we can stay positive and get out of the house. I mean, you can get outside, just definitely get outside for a little bit. Send cards to people or notes or something to people, even like a nursing home or something. You can send them to them. You don't have to go in there. But it's kind of nice to send just, like they do us, the healthcare providers. We can't forget about other people, older people and stuff that are forgotten. Let's send them cards and things like that because they're sitting there lonely. They're in their last days. They're lonely and they need something. They need something just as simple as open up and read it. They love stuff like that. And if you're sitting at home and you're bored, get a piece of paper and pen, start writing stuff. Say, hey, just don't know you personally, but just thinking about you. Hope you're having a good, hope you're doing well and all that. Just, cheers to life, I mean, you got to think about it. We never did, none of us, unless I got some really, really elderly people watching this podcast, but none of us really remember World War II, and, Americans in the whole world, for that matter, had to change their thinkings and stuff, and they went through some trying times for like 4 years. And there's a lot of uncertainty in the world back then, and there was a lot of things changed dramatically, right? And their lives changed and everything. But they stood strong, and after the war, man, things were productive, and things were just kicking, and life was good. And I believe that the same thing is going to happen this time with this pandemic that we're all living through right now. So there is light at the end of the tunnel. You got to stay positive. How are we doing it while we're in it? How do we stay positive while we're in this? And like I said, comment below. I think a lot of people are doing a pretty good job adjusting to everything. I'm beginning to adjust. I've been working on it. It's been a job, to be quite blunt, for me to change thinking, not be in the doom and gloom, and being positive about everything that's going on, especially being in healthcare. Another drink of coffee. And you might notice my voice is a little more raspier a little bit. That's because I'm wearing a mask for 8 hours every day, except for the weekends. And that means it just drives you up. It's little things like that, just the changes, And I know the musicians, like I said, been doing the in-house concerts and stuff. That's cool. And now it's getting warmer, we're getting outside and doing them and all that kind of stuff. But don't forget Mother's Day. Don't forget your mom. And hopefully you still have your mom. I know a lot of people don't. I'm blessed. I still do. Thank God. And, and nothing lasts forever. And that's why you got to appreciate every day, every moment, every day. I know after a while I might sound like a little bit of a broken record. I might sound like a Memorex, if you guys remember that. Some of you guys probably don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, for the younger generation, if you want to see some funny stuff while you're sitting at home and lockdown, get on your computer, get on your phone, cell phone, your laptop, whatever. And get on there and look up 70s commercials and just check out the 1970s. The 1970s was a cool time, guys. The 70s were cool. I know they did a show about it. It's kind of like that, but not really. I lived through the 70s, I know. You have to check out the real commercials and everything else. We talked about everything from the food to the cars and all that stuff. Now, the cars back then, they were just built better as far as like they had real steel and all that stuff. The cars these days are probably faster. I mean, I compare my 50-year-old car to my 10-year-old car, and the 10-year-old car is definitely a lot faster than the 50-year-old car. But it's just a difference, And I'm not knocking today's world or today's technology. It's great, but get a chance to check out the 70s. It's just entertaining, and it was a different time period. Definitely didn't have the PC back then as we do today. I was watching an old Flintstones commercial for Winston cigarettes. They don't even put cigarettes on TV anymore, and you see Barney and Fred smoking Winston cigarettes. I mean, there you go. I mean, how different was it back then? So everything was so laid back. Everything from the Jeffersons to All in the Family. It's just, like I said, the PC was like hardly non-existent back then, and it was just a carefree. It was just a good time. And if you have never experienced the 70s, jump back there. Or even if you had, jump back to revisit it, because it's good to revisit things that made you happy. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm checking out things that I like, that made me happy, that make me happy, and that's I think that's a secret to living through the pandemic and weighing the pandemic out, because we're just weighing it out. We're waiting it out, rather. Weighing it out, waiting it out. We're waiting it out. Some people may be weighing it out, but we're waiting it out. And that's a good way to pass the time. My wife and I even play Yahtzee sometimes. Stuff like that. But if you get cabin fever, like I said, just get outside. Anyway, comment below on anything I'm talking about. I'm just talking about how to keep your days happy during the pandemic, and kind of a laid back podcast today. But sometimes they just got to be that way, because I get tired of talking about statistics. I can tell you, statistic. I can tell you how many cases we have in Indiana. I can tell you how many people died in Indiana. I can tell you all this stuff, but I'm giving it a break. I don't want to talk about it. I mean, and I feel like we need a break from it. We need a break from it, because it'll drive you insane, people. I know. It was driving me a little bit bonkers, you know what I mean? So, but anyway, I hope everybody's doing good. I hope you're surviving. If you're having a tough time, a loved one, I send my prayers out to you. I do. Very close friend of mine just this week lost a loved one close. It was yesterday, a month ago. Of course, I lost my best friend. So, it's trying times, and we just want to, we got to keep the faith, and we got to pray for these people, and we pray for healing. So, if my good friends out there listening, I'm praying for healing for you and your family. You have to pray for the healing. One more time, I want to endorse my buddy up there in Lansing, Michigan, Tim. Thank you for the diesel coffee. www.shopdieselcoffee.com. It is great stuff, guys. Seriously, it's good. It's good coffee. And pretty reasonable, man. Not bad on the price. It's fresh. I mean, it's fresh. I get the whole bean. This is a whole bean coffee right here. Grind it yourself when you're right before you get ready to brew it. And a lot of times I use a coffee press and I press it. And it's great. It's great. Great. And, I'm getting ready to plant the garden. I talked about, being self-reliant during these times. If we have a little bit of a food shortage and stuff like that, grow your own stuff. Try to. You grow a little bit. Even if you're in your apartment, you can put them on your balcony. I lived in apartments. I know how it is. Put some little planters out on your balcony. Plant some seeds. Let them grow. Tomatoes, peppers, whatever. It's just nice to see things grow. Bird watching. I got bird feeders out there. My wife and I watch the birds a lot. Simple things like that, guys. That's the things I'm talking about. We can't go see Collective Soul. We can't go see Pearl Jam and all these bands that I like. And, we can't do that, right? Maybe this summer. So that's what I'm talking about. We refocus. That's what this whole podcast is about. We got to refocus. So what do we refocus on? The stuff that's free. Okay, we're gonna watch birds feed and watch nature and plant some plants and watch them grow. Some of you guys are probably thinking, yeah, I got some plants and I'm watching them grow. I'm not going to go there, but it's kind of funny. And, medicinal purposes too, right? with all these plans. That's all I'm going to say about that stuff. So, anyway, I hope you guys are doing good. It's about the end of this 30 minutes. Just for you guys that follow me, and gals, rather. Oh, I do want to put a shout out, too, to Connie. Connie in Terre Haute, Indiana. You know who you are. Thank you very much for... I think she's one of my favorite fans out there. One of them, and she's great. Anyway, shout out to Connie. Hope you're doing good out there, down there in Terre Haute, Indiana. Before I forget, because I do appreciate the support from people like Connie and Sandy, and I can go on down the list. Anyway, Mother's Day coming up. Don't forget Mother's Day. Stay positive. Watch stuff grow. It's neat to watch stuff grow, And doesn't cost that much money to buy seats. Think of the money they were saving when we spend, $100 going to a concert. And now we spend like 25 cents, 30 cents, $1, whatever on seats, $2, $3, whatever. It's different, guys. And it might be a little bit boring to some people or whatever, but, we got to switch our thinking a little bit. Just adjust everything up here. Stay away from the news for a while. Because subconsciously, man, they're going to burn you out. I have nothing against the news, not much anyway, a few things. I won't get into that. But you got to stay away from it for a while. Give it a break. Give it a break, all right? I have to do the same thing. Have to. It'll just get to you. Anyway, like I said, I was going to say the people that are following me, I looked into some of the technical stuff. And now that I'm on the shutdown and everything and I'm saving money, I'm going to start upgrading gear. So you're going to start seeing some changes with the production of my little podcast I do every Thursday, or I call Friday Eves. Anyway, this is Johnny Allen, and I am signing off for the day. You guys stay safe. Think about how you're going to do for a while with no entertainment out there or very little. Our lives are just changing, have changed. How are we dealing with that? Let's make the best of a situation. If God gives you lemons, make lemonade. And that's true, right? We'll see you guys next week, the Lord willing, on the Johnny Allen Podcast / Videocast Show. Thanks for liking and subscribing. And again, thank you, Connie in Terre Haute, Indiana. We'll see you guys next week.